Oh, yeah. Where my tea party at? Where my people? Where my peoples is at? Where my peoples is at? If you're not angry, you're not paying attention. People are not paying attention. Where my peoples is at? You know what, guys? We're not fools. At least in my pens. I need Honorable J.G. Moore to know that we're not fools. Oh. What up, ladies and gentlemen? So, let's start. Let's go straight in. Listen, let's not mess around. Those who are not here can catch up. Those who are not here can catch up later. You know what, guys? I'm a bit frustrated right now. You know, this morning, I posted a picture of a gogo who was dropped off at Kachana at Coca-Cola corner because we're trying to get to Parinyato Hospital. Tajamuka picked it up, a couple other guys picked it up. Newsday were there filming live. And we saw a lot of shenanigans that were happening this morning because the combis were no longer allowed to go into the CBD. Now, we all agree that the situation with the combis is untenable and some solution has to be come up with quickly and effectively, right? So we all agree that something has to happen, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, people in town started rioting, right? People were very, very, very upset. The reason why people are upset is because they wake up in the morning, they're being dropped damn near 10 Ks away from their locations. They have to walk or pay money for a shuttle, an untenable shuttle, which is owned by Zupco, right? Now, we just got a letter. I just got this letter. It's from the Minister of, hold up, let me read this. The Minister of Local Government, Public Works and National Housing. Right? We just got a letter from the Minister. And this is the letter to you as citizens, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we have to do. We have to keep ourselves informed. Because these guys think we're fools. We think we're idiots. Statement. I'm going to read out this statement. I'm going to read it out slowly so you guys can see what's going on. This is the statement that we got from the minister. Okay? This is the statement we got. It's on my wall if you want to read it later. The Minister of Local Government, Public Works and National Housing, in the capacity as authority in charge of administration of the Urban Acts, Chapter 2950, regrets the hurried decision taken by the Harare City Council, MDC, to immediately ban commuter omnibuses and combis from entering the central business district without first providing a viable and inexpensive alternative for the commuting public to use. Fuck me. Can I read that again for those who are just joining us? The Minister of Local Government, Public Works and National Housing, in the capacity as the authority in charge of administration of the Urban Council Act, regrets the hurried decision taken by the Harare City Council. Remember, he's pointing fingers at MDC right now, fingers at MDC, for immediately banning commuter omnibuses and combis from entering the CBD without first providing viable and inexpensive alternatives to commuter public. According and in full view of the decentralized function that the Harare City Council would ordinarily exercise by legislative discretion, I, as the responsible minister, hereby reverse and rescind with immediate effect the same decision and subsequent announcement by the city banning commuter omnibuses and combi access to the central business districts until such a time that proper and sustainable transit arrangements are put in place for workers and traveling public. My directive is issued in terms of Section 314 of the Urban Council Act. My directive has been issued in the light of the fact that the council's decision and actions are not in the interest of the inhabitants of the city council area and Harare metropolitan province. To the extent that they hinder the free travel by tourists and general public and injure the general nation and public interest. Remember, watch this. Injure the general nation and public interest. Accordingly, I have conveyed the reversal of the rescission to the city council in writing. Kindly note that my directive does not cover unregistered vehicles unlawfully engaged in commuter services such as mushika-shika. Yeah, blah, 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 we get that. As the responsible minister, I apologize to all Harare residents of the Harare Metropolitan Province and our valued visitors from the disruption and inconvenience already suffered. Further, I inform all residents of the Metropolitan Province that the renewal of the city and other local authorities, along with the orderly reconstruction of the city public transport, will be probably undertaken by the local central government. All stakeholders, including transport operators, businesses, residents, and vendors, through their respective representatives, will be consulted for a smooth execution. Already, significant steps towards developing a transport master plan for the Metropolitan Province of Harare has been undertaken. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys think we're fucking idiots, huh? You know what? They made a hurried decision. ZANU-PF Minister J.G. Moyo is blaming the city council. The city council is MDC. I know from some of the messages I was getting, the MDC is blaming local government. Yet again, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone into a crisis created and then crisis resolved by the junta. This has now happened too many times. Bread went up by 10 cents and then bread was brought back by the junta. Data went up, then data came back down. You see, there's this crisis creation and crisis rescission, so that we praise our saviors. I'm struggling to see how stupid they think we all are. Right? You cannot sacrifice the population of Harare for you to do these fun and games. We don't want fun and games anymore. Right? If they were going to ban commuter omnibuses, make a plan, a workable plan that does not affect the citizenry, pregnant women, elderly people, children going to schools, people going to work. You know how big our civil service is. The commuter omnibuses are filled with civil servants going to work for the running of this country. And now we get this letter. Ladies and gentlemen, Madara Aneta, all of these guys are tired. They're tired, they don't know what the hell is going on. Right? They create these problems and then immediately rescind them. There is no continuity of any of these policies. Right? So what was the purpose in the first place for causing that go-go pain this morning? So that they could rescind it this evening. They want me to thank them, but I won't thank you for stupidity. As the Minister of Local Government, you should have stopped this before this nonsense was even put in place. Right? All you old men are tired. All of you, Harare City Council, you are tired. Everybody, you are tired. People who are in government, you are tired. If the city council was coming up with such bad plans for the combis, why did you not stop it before it happened? This is the reason why we have different arms of government, to try and protect the citizenry from this type of fuck shit. And this is what it is. It's fuck shit. We already have a reversal of the policy that came in place. And that's because the citizens proved that they're not going to have it. You see, in town today, they were throwing tear gas at us again. They were throwing tear gas at the citizens again. Why? Because they're wondering why people are complaining about having to start walking 20 Ks to get to work. It's not fucking rocket science. It's very, very simple. The reason why people complain about having that is because why am I in 2017 having to get into town, get dropped off in the Msatanyokos of town, and then walk all the way to the other side of town to get another combi to go where I need to go? It's bad planning. And you are bad planners. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are the bad planners. Why are the citizens suffering from bad planning? I'm very frustrated. But anyway, I thought I'd let you guys know that what we talked about this morning, about the combis and that the shit that is going to cause, the shit was caused, there was trouble happening, and immediately this spineless, disorganized, old, retarded administration pulled back again. And this is it just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen. Right now we're lucky that it's a couple of gogos who had to walk and a couple of pregnant women who suffered and a couple of disabled people. Imagine the day when they make policy decisions that actually kill citizens. Imagine the day when they make decisions about our healthcare, which is actually going to kill citizens, which is going to starve our children. These old men are old. They're tired. We need them out. All of them. They say, all of them. They are all tired. Let me read some comments. Tawanda says, Kuda, it's the commuter operators that pushed for this. The commuter operators and the government have been in a back and forth battle for too many years now. We need a workable solution. We all don't like the way driving in town is now being experienced because the commuter omnibus guys are idiots. they're causing a lot of problems. They're causing a lot of problems, right? But at the same time, we do not want a citizenry that is then constantly put into these problematic situations because of bad planning. I mean, if they'd come up with a plan, a working solution as the city council or as the government, and say, you know what, we don't like the government, wanna make sure Harare is a clean city without traffic and all these kind of things. Come up with a workable solution, and then we follow that working solution. That does not totally disregard the poor people who are already struggling, people who are already suffering, people who got disabilities, people who are pregnant, people who are elderly, young children. Anyway. My BP is gonna kill me. So let me calm down. We need we need things that work. I'm very disappointed in all of this. I'm glad that it's been reversed. I think it's going to alleviate some of the pressures on the people of Zimbabwe. Fat bastards like me, we drive anyway, so it doesn't really affect me. I just see it affecting everyone around me. It affects the people who work for me. It affects our business. Everything. Today, everybody was late for work because of this new faction. I'm glad tomorrow it goes back to normal. But then also the city of Harare goes back to the shambles that it was. We need better ideas. We cannot keep voting in the same people over and over again, expecting the same result, guys. A different result. It doesn't make sense. We cannot keep rewarding a city council that's failed us over the years. All those councillors, out of respect for the citizenry, should resign and put in young people, young blood, people who can think differently. People who have seen transit in other countries. People who have seen the London Underground or the metro systems, the bus systems. People who have seen other things with exposure. We cannot keep on being ruled by incompetent vagabonds who have no idea what they're doing. We cannot keep letting this government continue to solve crises after crises because they believe they are our saviors. It's a scam. We now need to vote in young people who can actually come up with proper working solutions. So this is some of the challenges that young President Chamisa is going to have to deal with. You cannot give us the same names in council again. We won't accept it. They're incompetent. They've made mistakes. We'll vote your people in, but give us new people with better ideas. And you can give us a blueprint of what you're going to do with our urban environment, what you're going to do with our municipality, as soon as we get rid of these old idiots. We cannot keep on voting for the same people over and over and over again and expect them to clean our water, expect them to sort out our transport issues, expect them to look after our children. I am tired. These guys are also tired. All of them. And I'm not being partisan right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you now, they all must go. Let me ask some people. I said BP is going to kill me. I'm going to die of BP. Yo, what up, Max?
Dave Kuda, what did you say?
What did you go?
No, Kuda, you see, I've commented that Max said, but you call me redundant. You still remember the comments I put on your timeline?
Yes, I said your comment was redundant purely because it was a back and forth game, and yet my comment specifically attacked two parties. I attacked the council. I specifically said MDC council, and I specifically said ZANU-PF government. Did you read the comment?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so when I try and do balanced analysis, and what people like you do is you come on my timeline and then you partisanize it. And I refuse that, because I think they're all tired.
Yeah, but what you should know that is the government is coming this one, because they take your bread and they bring it back, you see. So they want to score some political scores, you see. So I understand that. I understand that. But the plan came from the city council. The city council is MDC. It was approved by government, yes, but the plan came from our councillors.
The same councillors who refused to come to meet us to talk about the water that was coming out with shit that they expected us to give our children. They refused to meet us. The only person who met us that day was Ben Manyenyeni. And the same councillors then fired him. Do you know that?
Yeah.
These are facts.
Because Benny Amaxena Mbonyora post it's not this directive. The directive is coming from the government.
Ben was fired. Ben doesn't even know. He's no longer mayor. Or he doesn't say anything anymore. He's been fired.
So he's running the council now?
The new mayor. We don't even know the nigga name. You tell me. You're a supporter of MDC?
I'm not a supporter of MDC, but I'm not a supporter of ZANU-PF either. So I can't say...
That's what I'm saying, my young brother. Wabadara esa yagaya, asasina plan, gawachi bavese, all of them together, they can go retire together. They don't have a plan anymore. You won't ban ma commuter out in them town, apa without workforce in them town, apa ma road nyaga fa foot, apa wana motor, apa wana mari. Can you explain that to me? Kurkunaya. We're now right now in the middle of rainy season.
What I mean, because most of the Zimbabweans are not motor, and you know, because our country and the system denied us to be successful in our country. You see, so I don't see anything we can arrange, especially for this, because city council, even Ben he doesn't have the executive powers to control that city, that council. I mean, so I don't know. But is he a ZANU-PF or MDC or what, whoever is he?
Anyway, do you know what I saw this morning? I saw there's the old adage that when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. And we have these two elephants who continually fight amongst themselves. And the situation is, unfortunately, the citizens continue to suffer because these two elephants cannot get their act together. If the council came up with a stupid plan, the government should be the first stop to say, this is a stupid plan. If the government comes up with a stupid idea and directs the council should then be able to say, no, we can't do that because it's a stupid plan. You see, we should be at fail safes. But right now, everyone at the top is stupid. So they're all doing stupid things. We're struggling with this.
But I don't blame the plan. The plan is very poor, but they need to come up with a solution which is very good. But plan it's a very good plan. But I think
how is it a good plan, my brother? How is it a good plan? Explain it to me.
You see, you up in town, there's congestion and there's no order in town because of these guys with Combi and Chiga. If you look some South Africa, how do they manage their transport in the CBDs? You can tell with as Zimbabweans we need to some sort there are something like that, you know. Because what others are
so provide they didn't provide a solution. You see, the thing is they caused a big problem without a solution. Right now, if you're going to ban cars from driving in the CBD, I've seen it happen before in other countries. In London, there's places you can't drive. Do you understand? But they have workable solutions. There's places like Oxford Street which can only be driven by buses, so that people can jump on buses and jump off buses. There's working solutions, cheap solutions. You can buy a bus pass that lasts you all day and can take you around the city. These are working, cheap solutions for the public to use. But if you don't even have a working solution, then you try and charge gogo with the cheap bus mo badre mo 30 cents. Mo kura mo bus for 30 cents good menes ko manyu renge ku mable arite madara ana ma plans ana ma ideas.
Yeah, but what I want to know is the kind of directive which government can't say no kwanisa kuramba ukuthi no, don't want that in your planning.
Of course because no one implement. And mapurisa ngari pa road mangari mama municipal policemen ndanga boys are blue sakaro blue zezi anga siri masoja guy.
Anyway, it's been a pleasure to chat with you, my brother. I think they come up with something which is suitable for all citizens.
They will not come up with something. Those guys don't have a plan. Inimi ndimakutofana ubuda nema plan ana max. Ndapota hangu chita get involved ngomana kuti boys does not deal it. As nabasa boys. And I'm register kuvota kumbare ku remembrance kuya kuchiri kuvota ku register. Registration is still going on until after nomination court. and I'm not register kuvota kumana mubudise boys aziba zinabasa boys. They don't care about you, they don't care about your kids, they don't have no plan, they don't have any ideas. All of them, they must go.
Sharp.
I had a few more folks then will cancel. So anyway, if you want to check the letter out in full, check it out on my timeline. It's there in full. You can you can check it out on my timeline if you wanna check out the full letter from the government. I think Kutiwa baby, this is Zanu must go. I want to take it further. I want all of them to go. Lucky, how you doing, bro?
I'm good. Kuda, how are you doing? I'm
frustrated, my brother. Like, I'm frustrated.
I can see that. I was in Zimbabwe last year and just noticing, I think you're talking about maybe Marengs Arukunana Kokomok or something like that. That's where they started saying Combi. And to me, it didn't make sense. Everything has got to be central if you want people to be able to get Kumabasa on time and stuff like that. I mean, looking at my packets, now the two main big ones, I remember forgotten the Republic, but one is like 2nd Street. If you portion those, they are about 3-4 flights high. Combi zirikuva kunana chitungwiza, kunana chitungwiza, kunana mavuku and stuff like that. That's their central point. And then you take the other one, you're opposite post office and say it's going to cater for certain people like coming from either Kunana, Glenview and stuff like that. We would have sorted out our transport situation. You know what I mean? Everybody gets to be in a central point where they can actually go from place to place, but in a central position. You know what I mean? So
you know what? I'm actually a bit scared of what you're saying, even Lucky, because I go back to what Henry Ford said, that when you ask people what they want, they say faster horses and not cars, huh? So my fear is this. We cannot keep on trying to fix a fucking broken system, my brother. Is it not time for us as a generation to start talking about an underground metro system? Is it not time for us to start talking about, proper bus lanes and a proper metro buses that can actually take people around the country? I mean, is it not time for us to actually change our paradigm? We should not be using combis because they are paid. We're satanic. Mariri ko been aramba kutaura temba mlisa nasi parliament aramba kutaura kuti maraka isa kupi. That fat bastard probably ate the money. He's probably in his stomach. We need to just cut it open and take the money. These guys are thieving bastards, and I'm saying we cannot be in a situation where we're still talking about ranking in the parquets. It's almost as if we're saying, all right, let's just make a plan with the bad plan that we have. We should stop doing this now. Let's demand more, Lucky. Let's demand more, Sha.
I hear you.
You know, in other countries, there's places where buses cannot drive. There's camera systems that monitor these lanes. There's actual things that we can put in place now to say that we're tired of the nonsense. Technology has moved on. People can now use various other modes of transportation. We can do park and rides. As long as you give us the proper metro buses, they've got clear lanes. No one is, you know what I mean? There's other ways we need to start thinking as a generation. And we have time and the human resources, and we have the money. You see, England has no gold. England has no platinum. England has no cobalt. England has no diamonds. But how come they have an underground system? What is happening? Can we demand more from our people, please?
Our town planning system is very wrong. If you look at it, along Chitungwiza, we're selling plots instead of developing some kind of network system, metro network system that can go around,
yes.
Kwanza Utakurabano, Chitungwiza. But, for me, you've been a very firm kind of person in your beliefs and everything that you want to change, and I've sent you certain posts which then we know instead of us crying and saying this should happen when there's people like you that are in the ground. Some of us are in the diaspora. And I say, it's time you take charge, especially you're a very vocal person and you know what you want and you're very passionate about your country. And I'll support you, my brother. It's time that we stop talking about it, and it's time we start going for it. I know you've said it's not yet, you don't want now, but maybe this is the time.
Not yet. I've never said not yet. I want you to understand that I now give majority of my time supporting young candidates who want to make a change. Now, I don't know how else I can be of service to my nation, but I promise you this, my brother. You can WhatsApp all of them if you want and ask them. I'm heavily involved in making sure that Madara, these old tired niggas are out. And and we're willing to engage. We're even willing to engage the ED government at this stage. We're willing to engage the Chamisa potential government because we really believe that with the right decisions, fresh blood, some nice young ideas, things can change.
Right.
But unfortunately, the thing is, it's very difficult for people like me because when I start attacking the council, you have to know that the reason why the MDC guys attack me back is because the council is MDC. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So we have to be fair. We have to be fair in our criticism. We can't just criticize one side because we're partisan. Because I'm not a Mugabe Masgoa. He's gone already. We want better things for our kids. I mean, Lucky, how would you send your son to town in Zimbabwe right now? The way things are working, it's a bit of a mess.
Yeah, it is. It's
a mess.
I mean, the road planning is just bad.
When I was a young kid in Australia, this is a promise, my guy. I was 8 years old. My young brother was 5 years old going to kindergarten. I used to go with my school bus pass to take my brother to his bus by Land Cove Road in Sydney. Then I'd get my bus to school. Then I'd get my bus to pick up my young brother in kindergarten. Then I'd go home independently. My parents were students. They couldn't take us to school, but we could travel by ourselves with a functioning bus system and a school bus pass system to get home. I'm confused that this was in Australia in the 80s, 1985. Why is it that in 2017, you and me, sitting here scratching our heads thinking, how do we solve a transport issue? When best practice has been proved all over the world, God damn it. Trams, Docklands Light Railway, undergrounds, trains, there's a lot of things we need. And the thing is, we can't keep on spending money on cars. We need to start spending money on our system.
There's a challenge now for the MDC government. I mean, they have to come in. The town planning is very important. You get what I'm saying? We don't even know, maybe sometimes they don't even know where their sewer systems are until they burst. So how are we going to put an underground system when we don't even know? The town planners themselves do not even know. They're looking at sketches from 1980 that were left by the previous regime. You know what I mean? Instead of us start looking until it bursts, then we know that it's there. So yeah, it's a big challenge, and it's only going to involve somebody like you, Kuda, without a doubt. Somebody like you. You say I'm doing it, and I'll run behind you. You can advocate for other young people and stuff like that, but this is your chance to say that you want this kind of thing to happen within your own country.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you coming on, my brother. Thank you so much. I'll be in touch on the inbox. God bless. All right, guys. So, just to sum up, I don't think anyone else wants to join. I think, Ray, I'm trying to add you, but it seems not to be working. Look, just to sum up, I think the frustration is that this morning chaos was caused in Harare Central. Chaos. We go on the Newsday page and see some of the lives of how people suffered this morning. And how much money business potentially lost this morning with the archaic nature and the way that this Combi ban was implemented. And as we are about to, as rush hour starts this evening, a letter comes out of the local government to now rescind something they could have done Kudara because it was a bad idea. And it's like too many of these bad ideas are sneaking through the cracks, ladies and gentlemen. Too many bad ideas are sneaking through the cracks. And the thing is, the government needs to not look at us as fools. We don't necessarily believe they're the saviors. Because if they had said no to this Combi ban or this without a proper plan, it wouldn't have happened anyway. So they're all to blame. I have to be honest with you guys. They are all to blame. They're tired. They're tired. We need to start thinking of new systems. How can we get trams in Zimbabwe? Do we now need to invest in tuk-tuks? Do we now need to invest in an underground system? Let's dare to dream for a second. Let's be ambitious. Let's look forward. Let's look forward. Forward. Don't you want to be able to live in Norton in a beautiful house? Get on a train in the morning, 10 minutes later in Harare Central, get on an underground and get to Mount Pleasant to your business district? Let's dare to dream. Let's dare to dream. Let's dare to dream. Is it possible to get a Docklands light rail type of system? Because I used to live in the Docklands I used to live in the Docklands in England, and there were trains that used to travel on the road. They had no drivers. They used to drive themselves and would jump on and would leave. Can we dare to dream Zimbabwe? Can we dream of a better Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe 2023? We have the money, we have the talent, we have the brains, we have the people. What the fuck is happening with our generation? Marcy, what up? Sorry, I'm a bit upset.
Calm down. Don't get your blood pressure up again. You know what, Kuda? You know, sometimes, you know, when you talk, I review after the talk, right? And you chuck into the mix a lot of solutions to some of the issues that you bring. It's littered with solutions, simple, implementable solutions. Now, you've just been talking, and I just came in about a minute ago. You're talking about the transport situation in Zim. And we have got good examples in practice about how do you move a transport system where the combis stop at a certain point and they're not allowed to go further. And you do get, you know, the bus link system. Yeah. So it's up to us sometimes to introduce pilot systems to help the government. We can't always assume government will come up with plans. You can come up with a solution to the problem. Say to the government, are there buses we can use on a pilot system when the combis drop these people at this point? We've got 4 buses that ferry these people from this point to another point outside the banned zone. Does it make sense? Because that is what the park and rides do. They cut off transport at one system, and then they introduced a limited number of vehicles to transport this vast number of people being dropped off by combis. A combi will only carry how many people?
15.
How many people go into a combi? 15. How
15
much
to
does
18.
a bus take in? How much does a bus take in?
65.
65. So can you see how 4 buses, right, stationed at the drop zone of where the combis are supposed to drop off people? And what's the distance between the embargoed zone in town? Now you only have those 4 buses taking in, subsidized by the government, and the combis put in a monthly fee. You get me? You're not transporting people a long distance. You're only taking them from the drop zone, right, with a subsidized bus by the government, only 4. So they are not congesting the central business district. And people will drop off, stand there, wait for the bus to come. All 100 of them get into this one bus. They get dropped off at point B. Does it make sense? So that Mbuya doesn't have to do the linkages of buses. But it takes you, Kuda, to say to the government, give me 4 buses and I show you how we can make this system work better. And then look at the system. So sometimes let's talk, right, from the solutions. Then Tosangana and say, you know what, Kuda, you said a good point there. Now, I've just said it from the top of my head. Someone else can say, no, Mercy, actually, we can do it even better. Let's approach, you know, I know yesterday I was looking for AC Lumumba. What's his portfolio? Filter those ideas through to him and say, Manika, we can do this thing. Propose to your government that let's do this. Let's trial it. We need to have pilot projects that usher in all this change we want, because through that we'll know what works, what doesn't work, what is economical, and what can be easily implemented. Let's not just talk. Let's look at when we've discussed. What are the simple solutions we've suggested to each other? And what's the best way without always this government is old. You know, they travel the world, but they're diplomats. They don't use public transport when they're abroad. They've never been in a tube. They are ferried from one diplomatic car to the other. So there is aspects of them not being exposed to what is actually happening on the ground. You are exposed to the Combi system. You know the central business district when it's congested. Obet Mpofu, all those ministers don't enjoy the same congestion you do. Mashefano Vuriranzira. Zim1 Vuriranzira. So between me and you who understand congestion, let's propose to the government. Tipeo mabazi, right? Let's look at ways in which they can be subsidized, because the Combi drivers are also saving money by not going into the business district, wasting petrol. So can they be a subsidy? They pay £1 a week, $1 a week towards their customers being picked up from that drop zone to the next drop zone. Does it make sense, or am gibbering?
No, you're absolutely, well, you're absolutely saying that the solution, which a couple of guys, I mean, if you go on Fadzana at his page today, she was asking people for possible solutions, and Carl came up with a very clever one, which had sort of central transit points where people can be picked up, zones, and so forth. And I think it's very similar to maybe the zoning system of London transport. Now, I think my frustration is that for us to actually be allowed to participate in some of these processes, we're going to have to participate fully in the, unfortunately, in government systems. Like, we won't be able to do any of these things unless we now participate in elections.
But that comes with the problem that the brother before was saying to you, Kuda. I'm sorry to say this, and I know it will sound pushy on you. You can't keep functioning informally. Right now, you should be the base, the hub of whatever we call it. And before we had the citizens movement, this flag movement, ICCPO. So there is no formal structure for where we are filtering all this. Is there a way where we have a formally recognizable citizens movement or citizens advisory or citizens advice bureau or whatever that is formal and formally lobbying the government? We can't carry on in this informal arrangement. It doesn't work. So we need to formalize these discussions you are having, call it whatever, but it must be a formal forum that has direct linkage to probing or lobbying the government. Because right now, Wawata, what Ed talks about, let's stop Wawata. Let's look at the provisions in our constitution. Let's look at our legislation and see where, as a people, can we form an organization that is directly and seriously taken? You know, when we filter this thing, is there a seat in parliament where periodically the government allows city? Because I'll give you one thing that Ed says, which I find is a trick on our behalf. He says the voice of the people is the voice of God. Yet there is no legislative document that allows for citizens' involvement. So on what grounds is he talking to people? Are there any policies that have been devised to filter in this voice of the people? So look into that legislatively. Can our voice be used formally as a lobby in government? Because talking like this, Tirukuwawa Tasha,
I agree,
let's
absolutely.
stop that.
Let's stop. I mean, look, thank you very much, Marcy. As usual, always lovely talking to you. I shall catch you in the inbox. We've got a lot to talk about, my sister.
Right. So let's keep thinking and carry on. It's good. Yeah, let's keep thinking.
So my sister Marcy always got some smart ideas. So again, I think another comrade of mine, Ray, hit me up today. Said we also need to start thinking about how do we formalize some of these organizations. You know, we need to talk to people like Pastor E. How do we formalize the disflaggers? I mean, they've got huge numbers. I mean, how do we get everyone together so we can actually lobby and be more impactful? So these are the wider questions that we need to now talk about. I've been trying to add you, Ray, it's not working. But anyway, the decision to screw up the commuters this morning has now been rescinded by government. People are going to celebrate. We're tired of celebrating crises that they make. We're tired of them arresting Pastor E, then we celebrate when they let him go. We're tired of them, screwing up the commuter omnibus system and then solving it by reversing it back to what it was. We're tired of them polluting our water, then saying we fix the water. No, we don't want any of that anymore. I think these guys are tired and we're fed up. But anyway, I thought I'd let you guys know. Check the letter out. It's on my page right now. It's a long letter by the Minister of Local Government rescinding the decision. And I think we welcome that for the citizens because it's relief. Also, if you want to check out Obed Gutu refusing blatantly to answer questions to Parliament, remember, the Parliament is our representation. and he refused to answer any questions about where the money went when he was Minister of Mines, if he took those bribes that he's been accused of taking, the $10 million bribes to let people mine in Chiazwa. He refused to answer any questions at the parliament this morning. I've got the video up on my page as well if you want to check that out, or check out Open Parley. We've got the full horrible interactions with Obed Gutu. Oded Mpofu, my apologies. Obed Gutu is the greaseball who left MDC. We're talking about Obed Mpofu, the fat greaseball who's still in ZANU-PF. So he was refusing altogether to answer any questions. And I apologize, guys, it's Obed Mpofu. So go check out the video. It's also on my page. Check out the letter from local government, from Minister Dube. Who's the guy who wrote the letter? Joram Gumbo, yeah. So check out the letter as well. And this is what's been happening today. Pretty much, crisis was created this morning. It's been solved this evening by the same people who created it. They're all tired. Later on, people, see you tomorrow morning for tea time. I think we've got a lot to talk about tomorrow morning.